On today's show, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be combining a few stories into one video. I know typically I don't do it that way, but I thought I'd just try it and you guys can let me know if you like it or not. So we got three different stories that we're going to be talking about today. In this first story that we're going to be getting into, we have to talk about what the Trump administration has been doing with these immigration judges, because I think he ain't playing any games, and I absolutely love it. I absolutely love what the Trump administration is doing with some of these immigration judges. And then we're going to hop into a little bit of the Hulk Hogan situation. And then we're going to end it off with some bombshell news about Hillary Clinton. You're not going to want to miss that, so stick around. With that being said, let's dive in.
And it's not just immigrants. The Trump administration also appears to be targeting the judges. Dozens of them have been fired across the U.S. since January.
I'm still processing. This just happened last Thursday.
San Francisco immigration judge Ayla Dice never thought they'd come for her. She has 25 years of service with the federal government, previously working as a federal prosecutor. Dice has been a judge for the last 8 years.
I can still say I don't know why I was terminated. I know why I was not terminated. I know why I was not terminated for any lack of ethics or integrity or efficiency.
Is this common that judges get dismissed or let go?
No.
For Judge Dice, the axe came last Thursday in the form of a 3-sentence email. The Attorney General has decided to remove you from your position, the email stated. Your removal is effective today. Her mind immediately turned to the pending case she was supposed to review that afternoon.
Well, the first thing I was thinking of is that I knew that the 2 o'clock case was a case that had been waiting for years. Many of the people that appear before me have to wait 5, 8, 10 years before they get a final hearing.
Many of the other judges fired under President Trump were still in their 2-year probation period, according to attorneys and judges we spoke with. But Dice was years past that. Immigration judges are employed by the Executive Office for Immigration Review, which falls under the U.S. Department of Justice. The agency declined to comment on the dismissal. Dice says the line between the DOJ and the Department of Homeland Security is getting blurry. ICE agents are now commonplace at immigration court, and Dice says judges are facing political pressure.
We've just all of a sudden become political pawns, which is so sad.
Would you say there was pressure on you and other judges?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, I've very recently been directed how to rule on motions and how to, which would never even cross our minds before. It seems absurd.
Adding to her concern is a record-long backlog of immigration cases, with more than 3 million clogging the system. Judge Dice had about 6,000 cases on her docket alone. Many were asylum cases. According to TRAC, the Public Records Clearinghouse at Syracuse University, Judge Dice granted asylum in about 94% of those cases over the past 5 years, significantly higher than the national average.
That's why you were fired. It's really not complicated. If you're granting asylum to 94% of the people that walk in front of you, yeah, you should be fired. What? So just almost everybody has a genuine asylum case? Like, no. Come on now. Stop it. You're granting 94% of the people. She has a backlog of, I believe it was 6,000 people. Oh my goodness. Oh yeah. And then these immigration judges wonder why they get fired. I mean, it's simple. The ones that are getting fired right now are the ones that were overwhelmingly allowing these people to just waltz on in, unfettered, all because of politics. Well, I don't like Trump, and I think she actually mentions that here in a second. Matter of fact, here.
But Dice says those numbers are out of context, since many factors impact asylum grant rates from judge to judge.
One, I would never apologize for being compassionate and treating people with compassion.
I would never apologize for being compassionate. Bro, it has nothing to do with being compassionate. When you're granting 94% of people asylum, there's an issue going on. There's clearly, in my humble opinion, an agenda behind this entire thing. You want more illegals to come into this country. And it seems like intentionally to try to go against Uncle Trump. So The Trump administration is firing a lot of these immigration judges, and I am all for it. Fire any immigration judge who is approving 94% of asylum cases. Yes, absolutely. Every single day and twice on Sunday. Now I want to play a couple of clips of Hulk Hogan because, you know, they popped up on my timeline and I thought they were wonderful clips to show. But then we're also going to get into a little bit of liberal rage. Yeah, it's pretty wild. I'm going to have to mute that song. That might get copyrighted, but yeah, as you can see here, Hulk Hogan baptized. What a beautiful moment, you know. Born again at the age of this post says 70 years old. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. But here's also a moment that, you know, I've seen several times, and some of you might have seen this moment as well. But I just thought it was such a cool, dope moment.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. When you walk in this beat shop, I'm surprised that you still got the shirt on, Jack.
Well, let me tell you something, Hulkster. The first time I met you, I was only 3 years old, but now I'm 6 years old. So now we gotta take it to a bigger level, man. Just like when you put that no good stinking giant over your head and send them right through the table in front of 93,000 Hulkamaniacs. So what are they gonna do when the power of the Hulkster and the roaster and the dual 24-inch pythons run wild on you?
Some music starts to play, so yeah. You gotta love it. You gotta love it, man. You gotta love it. Rest in peace to Hulkamania, man. Rest in peace to Hulkamania. But of course, there's a lot of folks on the left, you know, the loving and tolerant left, that think it's a great idea to post things like this about Hulk Hogan.
You think we care about this? You think we give a we don't care?
Oh, Hulk Hogan died. Maybe we can get Kid Rock next.
Hulk Hogan's fucking dead. Hulk Hogan's fucking dead. Shut the fuck up.
We're not actually mourning this motherfucker's death, are we?
Not gonna be playing that music. Or that music. Or that music.
Hey, goodbye!
Yeah, this is what they're posting, man.
Better known as Hulk Hogan has passed on, and I, for one, am happy about it.
If you haven't heard, Hulk Hogan had a heart attack last night. All that hatred balled up in his chest, all that shit finally did its job. Took a long time. Took way too long, in my opinion. And for anybody who's like, the left is celebrating the passing, how dare... Fuck him, you and your mother, okay? I just want you to know that from the bottom of my spirit.
Well, I'm glad they're revealing themselves. Now they can no longer hide behind the we're loving and we're tolerant and we love everybody. We're accepting of everyone. We just want to spread love. Yeah, no, BS. You're celebrating the passing of a father, someone's husband, someone's son. You're celebrating that. It's pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Now, on to our last story for today's show. We got to get into Tulsi Gabbard, okay? Director of National Intelligence, because she revealed something that was quite interesting about Hillary Clinton. But before we get into that, I want to show you guys this clip of CNN airing Tulsi Gabbard talking about the situation, and notice what they do once she starts to divulge some of the details.
Multiple intelligence community assessments released in the months leading up to the November 2016 election concluded that Russia had neither the intent nor capability to impact the outcome of the U.S. election. On December 5th...
We've been listening there to the Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, continuing on what has now been a multi-day effort, not only with public statements like this, but release of documents, to attempt to back up the quite extreme allegation that President Obama is guilty of treason and that he worked in some sort of conspiracy with Hillary Clinton, etc., in the assessment by the intelligence community at the time that Russia interfered in the 2016 election.
You see what they did there? Oh no, we're not gonna let you hear this for yourselves. We're gonna tell you. But we believe in transparency and fairness and letting everyone know about everything that's going on. But instead of just letting you listen to Tulsi Gabbard yourselves, we just think you're too stupid to decipher through what it is that she's saying. So we're going to tell you what we think you should know. CNN Network for you, baby. Oh, man. So here's the uncut clip, part of the uncut clip, because she said a whole lot. But here's part of it where she was talking about Hillary.
There was a gross politicization and manipulation of intelligence by the Obama administration intended to delegitimize President Trump even before he was inaugurated, ultimately usurping the will of the American people. I'm going to go over the key findings from the House Intelligence Report, which investigated the claims that were made by an intelligence community assessment ordered by President Obama and published in January of 2017. First, Putin's principal interests relating to the 2016 election were to undermine faith in the U.S. democratic process, not show any preference of a certain candidate. In fact, this report shows Putin held back from leaking compromising material on Hillary Clinton prior to the election, instead planning to release it after the election to weaken what Moscow viewed as an inevitable Clinton presidency. In the January 2017 intelligence community assessment that President Obama ordered, John Brennan, who was CIA director at the time, and the intelligence community intentionally suppressed intelligence that showed Putin was saving the most damaging material that he had in his possession about Hillary Clinton until after her potential and likely victory. The report goes into great detail about the information that Russia and Putin had on Hillary Clinton, which included possible criminal acts like secret meetings with multiple named U.S. religious organizations in which State Department officials offered, in exchange for supporting Secretary Clinton's campaign for the presidency, significant increases in financing from the State Department. They also had documents that showed the patronage of the State Department to State Department employees who would go and support Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign. There were high-level DNC emails that detailed evidence of Hillary's, quote, psycho-emotional problems, uncontrolled fits of anger, aggression, and cheerfulness, and that then Secretary Clinton was allegedly on a daily regimen of heavy tranquilizers. Then CIA Director Brennan and the intelligence community mischaracterized intelligence and relied on dubious substandard sources to create a contrived false narrative that Putin developed a quote-unquote clear preference for Trump. Brennan and the IC misled lawmakers by referencing the debunked Steele dossier to assess quote-unquote Russia's plans and intentions, falsely suggesting that this dossier had intelligence value when he knew that it was discredited. The intelligence community excluded significant intelligence and ignored or selectively quoted reliable intelligence that contradicted the intelligence community assessment's key findings on Putin's alleged support for Trump. Including this intelligence reporting would have exposed the ICA's claim as implausible, if not ridiculous.
Quite interesting, if I do say so myself. So she was drugged up the entire time, and we didn't know. Wasn't all there cognitively, and we didn't know. Sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? You know, how they just covered up the last president and his cognitive issues. Interesting. It's like a recurring theme with the Democrats. And there's the rumor, okay, I just got to be honest. There's a rumor that Kamala was drinking a lot. And it's part of the reason why, she was so weird in some of those interviews, or cut some of the interviews super short. So maybe, just maybe, eventually we'll get information that comes out, intelligence that comes out that shows that, yeah, she's an alcoholic. And they covered that up too. What do y'all think? Let me know in the comments. I'm not going to be playing that music, but yeah. That's Hillary Clinton, ladies and gentlemen. That is Hillary Clinton. Oh, what is going on here? Oh yeah, that music's still playing. What is happening? And that's who they were going to give us as our president. Sorry, I didn't. Okay, it's clearly playing throughout this entire clip. I'm sure some of you have probably, or most of you have probably seen this clip where she's like out of it. Like, whoa, that is wild. Okay, yeah, it's clearly playing throughout this whole clip. Yeah, what is that? Oh, down goes Frazier. Oh, man. That's who they wanted to give us as president. Yep, glad that one did happen. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, did we dodge a major. Woo! Yeah. Thank goodness, right? Thank goodness. But as always, y'all let me know your thoughts and your opinions on all three of these stories in the comments below. Make sure you guys hit that like button for the algorithm. I would greatly appreciate it. Y'all stay safe out there. Peace and love. I'm out.